Welcome, dear viewers, to CouchWarrior TV on YouTube. I am the CouchWarrior, and you are watching Arcane, a Skyrim Let's Play. This is episode 50, the Viewer Appreciation Special. I am calling this one Night of the Dark Blade. And in this episode, we are going to eliminate 6 targets at the request of the viewers. Fleet is going to take them out for you. We are currently in Falkreath, and we are pursuing our first target, which is Zarya. She is the proprietor of the alchemy shop here, and this is actually my target. Fleet is eliminating her because of a group of thugs that she sent after him. He is exacting his revenge here, and so Zarya will be our first victim. The issue that we have with Zarya that makes her difficult is the location of her shop and the fact that she rarely leaves it. Her shop is surrounded on 3 sides. There is only one way in, and she is right next to a barracks filled with guards, and there are 2 guards who are out in front of her building at all times, one patrolling and one stationed directly across from the door. So before we can reasonably make this assassination, we need to draw the guards away from the door. So what I have done in an effort to draw the guards away and keep them busy is I ran up the road a couple hundred yards or so, and I brought down a Spriggan matron who, as you can see right now, is duking it out with the guards at the front gate. However, I need to keep an eye on this because this matron needs to survive long enough to make it to the guards further in. So our victim here is Zarya. The location again is Falkreath, and the client is Fleet himself. This is one he doesn't get paid for, obviously, but he gets some satisfaction out of it. So our objective here is draw the guards away from the door, slip inside quietly, perform our assassination, probably with a dagger, and exit without being seen. Now our matron is doing pretty well. She's eliminated at least a couple of guards here, and she has hit the guard who is on patrol. Now it's absolutely imperative to my plan that she is able to successfully take out this guard. Just to my left here, there is another guard standing directly across from Zarya's front door. He just stands there and holds a torch. And he's there almost all the time. Now, he can't see the Spriggan from his vantage point, so he hasn't gotten engaged in this fight. And I haven't, as of yet, found a way to move him. So what I need is for the Spriggan to win this fight, and then I'm going to run up on her and try to draw her down through this narrow alleyway across the boardwalk here, and keep our last remaining guard busy. So at this point, I'm just kind of moving around, trying to keep an eye on the battle to see how it's going. And so far, she's doing okay. She doesn't have a lot of health left, which is unfortunate, because it means that even if she does win this battle, the last remaining guard here, the one we really want to get rid of, it is not... he might be able to make short work of her. Okay, here she comes. All right, I'm running past the guard to draw her to the guard. Now I'm doing a full lap around the Jarl's Longhouse, and I'm going to come back up the boardwalk to the front door, and we will perform the task, hopefully in very brutal fashion. Revenge is sweet. And the Spriggan matron is dead. Our guard is still alive, so I'm going to roll from post to post here, trying to stay in cover. Now, I wanted to move fast in and out of there, So I didn't have time to leave the ego signature on the body, so I am going to plant the ego signature in the front door right now. And if you remember, our ego signature is a steel throwing knife with a black and red handle. So I'm going to equip one of these knives here. There we go, right there. And we are going to pitch that sucker right into the door and leave our mark. Right about there. Stuck. Calling card left. Soul sent to Sithis. Target number 1 eliminated. At this point, it is time for us to move on to our next target, located in Whiterun. Before leaving town, we may as well see if there's any valuables on what's left of these guards. So we'll do that quick, and we'll be on our way. We got a lot of work to do, so our second target is Nazim. Universally hated Nazim. He's located in Whiterun, and the client for this assassination is the Jessa channel. If you haven't visited Jessa's YouTube channel, I encourage you to do that. It is the Jessa channel. She does great Skyrim Let's Plays as well as a whole bunch of other Let's Plays. She requested Nazim, and it's easy to understand why. Nazim is a pretty annoying guy. He's extremely arrogant, and he's constantly making comments that are insulting. So my assumption is that at some point he insulted poor Jessa to the point where she felt like her only recourse was to have him killed. So we are going to perform that service. Now what I'm looking for is a good vantage point. Nazim is known to frequent the marketplace, and when he's not in the marketplace, he's kind of walking laps around the marketplace and back up past the Temple of Mara and so forth. Actually, that's a Temple of Kinnereth, isn't it? Now, this is a good vantage point. One of the things I know from having observed Nazim's behavior, doing some surveillance in advance, is that he likes to browse the shops in the marketplace. This spot is going to give us an elevated position where we can shoot down over people if there's a crowd. And it gives us a really great vantage point as he stops at that stall directly in front of us. We know that he is going to probably make a stop there at some point. And I can't really go any higher, so that's not a valid escape route. So what we're going to do is we are going to observe from here. We're going to crawl up just far enough to make our shot, and then we're going to go invisible and go back down into the shadows here. Now we've got to wait a couple hours for him to start visiting the marketplace. There he is right there. Incidentally, Nazim, you may be surprised to learn, will be the only target I will be taking out with the bow. Okay, there he is. We're going to go for a headshot. Now we're using the cover of our invisibility spell to get some distance between us and the scene of the crime. Now, the difficulty here, of course, is that we need to ensure that we weren't spotted, but we need to approach close enough to the body and the scene of the crime from another direction that we can plant our dagger. It's absolutely essential that we do that. That is our calling card. That is how other people know where we've been and understand not to mess with the Dark Brotherhood. So we're going to approach casually from the western side of town, right up the main road here, and we're going to try to observe Nazim's body, confirm the kill, plant our ego signature, and be on our way.
Maybe some other time I'll reveal your destiny. Tea leaves, palm reading.
There he is.
crystal scrying,
And arrow to the head.
maybe trepid.
A headshot. All right. Let's have a look at our victim here. He's got a few things here that are worth keeping. I always take the keys. I'm going to take the gold, take the jewelry. Gem, that's good. And, of course, we are going to plant the all-important steel throwing dagger. Just one. And we are done. Now we are off to Riften for victim number 3. Victim number 3 is Kirava. Kirava is the innkeeper at the Bee and Barb Tavern, and the client for this contract killing is Wings of Light and Dark. Kirava is a tricky one because she is always surrounded by lots of people. She never really leaves the tavern. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw her upstairs by purchasing a room for the night. And once I draw her upstairs, I'm going to have to find a unique and interesting way to take her out.
Yeah, what do you want? If this is about the meadery, we can talk later.
Divine smile on you, friend.
So I'm going to fall back here.
You have some nerve
Let
coming
her
back
lead.
here after what you did to Kirava.
Oh, just wait. Just wait. Now, I could take Kirava out with a knife by slipping into the room behind her, but I found that even if I did try to slip into the room behind her and close the door so we had total privacy, and I took her out in stealth mode, everybody in the tavern was somehow alerted to her death. So I'm coming up with a better way to do this, something a bit more subtle, and I'm going to let the other patrons of the Bee and Barb do the heavy lifting for me. Here she goes. Now we go into action.
Got the coin? You're welcome here. Otherwise, hit the road.
Yeah. Watch her health bar. And the deed is done. What I cast on her was a fury spell, which basically threw her into a rage and caused her to attack bar patrons. I made sure I was in stealth mode when I cast it and then immediately backed out of the hallway. And that caused her to turn her attention to the patrons inside the bar. Once she attacked one, they all attacked her, and they did all the dirty work for us. Now we just need to go downstairs and locate her body. It sounded like everybody got in on the act. I even heard spells going off, as well as weaponry.
You're not from around.
I don't know where she is.
Imperial spy, perhaps?
She couldn't have gone through the door, I don't think.
Sorry, I'm afraid I can't help you much right now. I'm currently in mourning.
Well, she's not back there either.
Thanks again for the delivery.
Look in the
to
back
Margaret.
room.
What can I do for you?
It would have been nice to be a fly on the wall and observe that battle, but I didn't dare get involved. My fear was that if I was anywhere near the battle when it started, there would be a possibility of being discovered. So we just ducked out of the way, went into stealth mode, and watched her health bar go down. Pretty slick, but it is probably one of the more efficient ways I could think of to take out a target that was in a room like this where we have many, many witnesses. Alright, so there was no clipping or falling through the floor. She's got to be up here somewhere. I must have just overlooked her.
You caught me at a bad time. I've lost someone dear to me.
Where did she go? Ah, there she is. Look at that. She's tucked in behind this guy.
Looking for work? I need someone to deliver.
Okay. We're going to take the key, of course. Take the gold. All of this stuff. And we are going to leave our mark. There we go. Victim number 3 dispatched. You are welcome, Wings of Light and Dark. Good doing business with you. On to victim number 4, who is also located in Riften. Our next victim is Boley. Boley owns the fishery here in Riften. He is a local merchant and a wealthy philanthropist. The client here is Josh Valenti. Boley is an interesting one. Upon doing surveillance, I observed him during the day in the marketplace. He's a late riser. He usually goes to bed late, around 2 o'clock in the morning, sometime between 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning, and he doesn't get up out of bed until about 10 o'clock in the morning, and he spends most of his day wandering around the marketplace. Now, Boley's house is the last one on this row before you get to the gate. I'm turning around going back into the Bee and Barb because I realize there is a guard stationed right outside Boley's door, about 10 feet away from his door. There is no way that I can pick the lock and get inside his house without being conspicuous. What I've determined is that the best way for me to take out Boley is to do it in the privacy of his own home, so nobody is the wiser. However, to get into his house, I need to get past a guard. And I can't exactly squat down and pick the lock 10 feet away from this guard. He's going to be able to observe what I'm doing. So what I'm going to do is sit right here behind Boley. When I get an opportunity, I'm going to move up behind him in stealth mode, hopefully putting some furniture and things between me and the other patrons so they can't see what I'm doing. I'm going to pick his pocket, take his key, and then I am going to hustle over to his house and walk in like I own the place. And then we'll case the joint and look for a good way to eliminate our target. There he is right there. All right. I'm just going to stroll back into the storeroom here. From here, we are going to go into stealth mode, and I'm going to try to sneak in just close enough that I can pick his pocket. You see there's some other patrons across the room, but they're behind this pillar. So I'm going to keep the pillar between them and myself, and I'm going to pick his pocket. Now look at our chances to steal. 53%, and I don't have any potions. I don't have any magic items that are going to help me with this. So I'm just going to go for it, and hopefully we'll do it. I think we just did. We did it. 53%, that's not bad. All right. We gently lifted the house key out of his coat pocket, and now we are going to head to Boley's house. Now, my reasoning here is that with the key, we should be able to just walk in the front door. We don't have to squat down. We don't have to do stealth mode. We don't have to pick any locks, and it shouldn't alert the guard to the fact that we're doing anything untoward here. So, very good. We are in. Now we got to case the joint. We got to find out if there are any hiding places here. We got to find out if there's anybody else in the house. That could be a factor. Remember, the time here is approximately 2 o'clock in the morning or so. Oh, look at that. His wife is already in bed. Okay, so we've got a potential witness upstairs. We have to be aware of that. Let's go check down here. This is interesting, too. It's a 3-story home, and every floor is kind of identical. There really aren't any hidey holes, except for possibly down here. But with his wife upstairs, my assumption is he's going to come in and go straight to bed. So I want to be in a position to jump him immediately when he comes in the door. So I think what we're going to do is we are going to hide. We're going to hide behind the door. We're going to stake out a spot there, and we're going to wait for him to return. And if my calculations are correct, we don't have long before he's going to show up. So we got to get into position like right now, because he's going to be on his way. Right? So we're going to sit here and wait. And when he comes in, we make our move. Oh, here he is already. Okay, and go. Rolling in. Bam! That went remarkably well. Now look at all this loot. We're going to take it all, and we got to get ourselves out of here very quickly. It seemed like we did everything very quietly, but you never know when his wife could be getting out of bed, so we're going to plant our ego signature very quickly and get out of here. She's up. Wow, we couldn't have cut that any closer. There's no way we could have cut that closer. So we're going to move over to the left. In preparation for this mission, I unlocked this gate to make sure I had an escape path.
I've been looking for you.
Are you kidding?
That's something I'm supposed to deliver. Your hands only. Let's see here. I've got a letter and a lot of gold. Something about it being your, inheritance.
No.
Oh, and sorry for your loss. Looks like that's it. Got to go.
No. Is this what I think it is? Oh. Okay. We gotta look. If this is what I think it is... Let's see. Inheritance letter. Letter of inheritance. Haha! Bully! Okay. So we eliminated the target because we'd done him a favor in the past. He gave us an inheritance. So not only did we kill him and loot him, but we got an extra 100 septum bonus. Very nice.
Psst. Hey, I know who you are. Hail Sithis.
Hail Sithis. All right, let's move on to our next victim, ladies and gentlemen. This is victim number 5. We are looking for Carjo. He is a transient, and this client is Can I Has Dog Tags. By transient, I mean that he is, of course, part of a Khajiit caravan, and this caravan travels between Riften and Dawnstar. If we are fortunate, his caravan will be sitting right here in Riften. If not, we are going to have to hoof it, and my plan is to follow the path that they would normally travel, and if I can't catch them in a camp, catch them on the road. Well, look at that. They are here. All right, so I'm going to go up to the corner of this house, and I'm just going to watch. The trick with the Khajiit caravans picking out a single target from this caravan is that usually there are 4, maybe 5 members of the caravan, and their campsites are always very compact, which means they're always in close proximity to one another. What we're looking for is the perfect opportunity, and that perfect opportunity would be everybody in the camp leaving Carjo alone just long enough for us to get in there and do the deed. Now first, we have to identify Carjo. One thing that we know about Carjo is that he wears steel plate armor, so that's pretty distinctive. I'm not talking about steel armor, I'm talking about steel plate. In fact, there he is right there. You can see the steel gauntlets. That's our man. Now, we've got somebody chopping wood here. What we really need is for her to leave the camp. And periodically, members of the Khajiit caravans will leave the camp. They'll go around the front to the main tent and they'll talk to their boss or something like that. What we need is for her to stop chopping wood and leave the camp long enough so that we can get in there and take out Carjo. I know this because I've done a significant amount of surveillance and preparation for these kills. I've just observed, I've watched, kind of timed when they're doing things and what they're doing, stuff like that. Again, ideally, I don't want to have to use any fancy tricks here. I really want to just look for the perfect opening and roll in for the kill. Okay. Carjo has not moved. She is leaving the campsite and going up in front of the big tent. It's time for us to make our move. I'm going to go into stealth mode. Alright, let's do it. He's standing up now. This is a perfect opportunity. And we plant our calling card. Target number 5 eliminated. Okay, now I'm going to duck back behind the building here into the darkness. And we're going to move around to the front of the building. Oh. Our horse is going around the other way. That's not really great. My intent was to kind of squeeze between this house and the stable and just get on our horse and head out the other direction. Alright, nobody's come back to the campsite yet, so we better get moving. Alright. Victim number 5 eliminated. Kenai has dog tags. You are welcome, sir. Thank you for doing the Black Sacrament. And now, victim number 6. Victim number 6 takes us to Windhelm. Angrenor. Angrenor, once honored. We are performing this assassination for Frosty Frostification. Now, this assassination is made slightly more complicated by the fact that Frosty Frostification has requested that we kill Angrenor in a specific place. Because Angrenor has a reputation for participating in bashing the elves of the Grey Quarter, we thought that it would be sweet justice to eliminate Angrenor in the Grey Quarter, and so that really narrows where we can actually perform this. That is Angrenor right there. So in order to eliminate him in the Grey Quarter, he has got to pass through that archway, and he's got to be kind of down there in those narrow streets and alleys in order for us to do this. The other complicating factor we have is the fact that this is Windhelm. Windhelm is freezing cold. This is an assassination that I need to perform after dark. I need the cover of darkness to really pull this off, and I need to do it when the streets are empty. So I'm going to position myself right here in this spot. The warmth from this brazier down below us is rising up between these stairways here like a chimney. So by standing here, I'm able to stay warm, and I'm able to observe Angrenor as he follows his path to and from the Grey Quarter. He seems to be in the habit of traveling between the Grey Quarter and Candlehearth Hall, and he does this repeatedly, and I've observed him doing this well into the night. So we are going to camp out here. We're going to use the warmth of this brazier to keep from freezing to death, keeping our stats up, and then we are going to wait for the right opportunity to make our move. Now, one thing that I did do prior to this was not only do some surveillance on Angrenor himself, but I also went down that alleyway and tried to observe what would be the perfect place to pull this off. And what I found is there is a landing down there. There's a stairway and a landing, and then a stairway that goes further down. If I take him out on the landing, that spot is cut off from sight lines down the alley in either direction. So I've got a small window of opportunity. I got to hit him while he's on that landing. If I hit him on that landing, the kill will be concealed from anybody up the alley or down the alley in the other direction near the corner club. There's a dude who sits on a ledge just outside the corner club, and I squatted down next to him and had a conversation. While we were talking, I observed his sight line, and I know exactly the spot where he can actually start to see what's going on up the alley. Okay, we are nice and warm, and our target just walked by. I have popped a resist frost potion, and we are just going to follow him. Now look, we've got somebody right behind him. I'm hoping that this guy will peel off to the right, and he does. Okay, that takes care of one potential witness. Alright, now we've got one coming the other direction. They're bumping into each other. Let's just hang back and let them sort this out. Okay, that's good. Our other witness is going to continue on up. Now you can see the landing right below. He's stepping onto it right now. We got to make our move. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a wrap. Look at that. He's got a key to the Aretino residence. That is creepy. Maybe there was more than one reason to bump this guy off. Maybe he's some sort of pedophile or creep. So, alright, we are going to plant our throwing knife, ego signature. Target number 6, eliminated. Let me take this opportunity to thank all of you viewers. I appreciate you so much, and that's the reason I'm doing this. You've been extremely supportive, and I just couldn't have asked for a better bunch of viewers. And I am looking forward to the next 50 episodes in Fleet's story. I am far from sick of this character. I'm far from sick of this adventure, so I think you can expect many, many more episodes in the future as we continue Fleet's journey into the void. So you may have noticed that we had to take a slight departure here from the storyline. In the next episode, which will be Chapter 6, Part 7, we will be picking up the story right where we left it off at the end of Chapter 5. I hope you'll join me. There is many, many more cool things and lots of adventure to come. So it's been a very, very busy 24 hours. Let's find a place to relax. What better location on a freezing night than Candlehearth Hall? And how about a little appropriate music for the occasion? And what could be more appropriate
What can I do for you?
than The Dragonborn Comes?
Yes.
Thank you for watching.
This one's a favorite of mine. A legend we all know and love. Our hero claims a warrior's heart.
You've been watching Arcane Arcana, a Skyrim Let's Play. If you liked this video, please rate, like, and subscribe. For more information on this and other CouchWarrior broadcasts, visit me on the web at www.couchwarrior.tv.